Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my fellow chingus. Welcome to episode 26 of Chimaek Hangout, where we discover and discuss on fresh K-pop goodness from music to news and sometimes the culture of Korea. This show is recorded on the 12th of November 2020. You're with me, Zaito, and yes, I'm very sorry guys regarding the last week's podcast which was cancelled. But no worry, we are going to have a long marathon of 6 sizzling musics, which we will get to in a while more. And a heads up for you guys, this is basically a marathon of sizzling musics. Any updates we will go through along the way, so I'm not going to give any update regarding to news because this is a recording which is pretty much last minute since I want to release this on time. So with that, before we move on, do check out Chimaek Hangout on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and possible your other favorite podcast platform as well. So, for sizzling music for this week as well as merged with last week, we have MONSTA X, Love Killa, followed by MAMAMOO, Aya, and thirdly is CL, Hua, and next, Secret Number, Got That Boom, followed by Girlfriends or GFriend, Mago, and lastly Taemin's Idea. We have 6 songs for this week, and just a heads up for you guys, some of this song is actually recorded last week, which is before the issue of my desktop went dead. Not to forget, we have recommended variety as the last section for this podcast before we end it later. So, without further ado, let's move on to our sizzling music with our first group, MONSTA X, which debuted on 2015 under Starship Entertainment, have a total of 1 music show win for their previous song Fantasia, as well as won several awards like Artist of the Year and Bongsan Awards, to name a few for the year 2019 and 2020. Well, talking about MONSTA X, they have returned with their 4th Korean full album, Fatal Love, and the album feels like it is leaning closely in some of their English songs, to be honest. The English language work is so close to this song. If you listen to a few of their previous work, it is quite similar. Whether this is a positive thing or not, it depends on your taste, to be honest. But the best I can say about Love Killa is that it doesn't sound exactly like what I expect from other titles. From their other titles, this is something like on the borderline with their English works. Alright, so I can definitely get behind the song electronic bass that powers the whole song. It sounds so good, so awesome, which match very well with the lyrics theme of expressing the emotion of someone chasing a fatal love. If we need to rhyme this fatal love, we will say with the MV where all of them actually are maybe describing and impersonate a criminal. If that's what I get from it, like Joker to name one of it that I actually easily seen. And to move on, it has a slick, slightly threatening appeal that draw out a more nuisance performance from the group. However, the track is lack of some strong hook. Since this song is talking about fatal love, a very strong words to actually say, but that kind of hook is not there. But I do say the chorus itself feels like it's charismatic. The chorus itself, it feels like it is a charismatic series of one-liner rather than a exciting refrain. If I need to describe in better words, I'm saying that it is something like a line-to-line words of very strong and nice word to listen to, instead of something that actually give you the boost of excitement that rhymes along the way of the song. So it's something like a full stop in between the songs and between the sections like chorus and the bridge, which is really kind of, if I need to say, I don't think a song like this need to have a huge pop chorus, but it does require an engaging centerpiece, which I can see that there is a portion of it, but not that much. What we get for this is fine, but as overall, it's pretty unremarkable, as that I can say it is not among their best. The song itself is just so I can say. And to add in more to this, as overall, the MV have too many cheesy posturing moments. Too many cheesy posturing moments that if I need to put in more words, there should be more creative ways than just puffing up your chest and proclaiming, "I am slayed. I'm killed. The fatal love is killing me." It's just a little bit too cheesy, and at that point that I feel like it doesn't do any justice for the MV. Yet the whole thing is tied up to a super serious badass theme rather than trying to capitalize on what the song really is. That's a really downfall for this song actually. I love the song, however the MV just make things worse. Even though I criticize it a lot, I see that there is a lot of point of improvement that's available in the song for this, because this is actually a work that is going along with English language work of theirs, something along of the borderlines. But I do not see the charm that they have among their best work. This is not one of it, I can say that much. So if I need to give a rating, I'll give it 7 out of 10. And oh yeah, I forgot to let you guys know, there is a little bit of changes on how I actually rate on this. Usually it's based on the lyrics, the songs, as well as the MV. And between these three, I will take in consideration of points from each of it will have at least a point up to 5 is how I actually describe it, and overall it'll be ending is a total of 10, which I won't go deep into how I actually calculate that, but all songs that I actually recommended or maybe features in this podcast are actually the lowest will be 6. 6 out of 10 is where I'll actually put these songs out to recommend to you guys to listen to. Alright, so following to our next group, which is MAMAMOO, debuted in 2014 under RBW, have a total of 7 music show win for their previous song Hip, and not to forget, they have won Bongsan Award and Artist of the Year, to name a few awards that were won on 2019 and 2020. Alright, talking about MAMAMOO, this is one of the exciting songs that I've been looking forward to, and I mentioned this last podcast with their pre-release song Dinga. If you haven't checked out what I think of that song, do listen to our previous podcast to see what it is all about. For this song, to be honest, with the new comeback song, as I mentioned, which I have high hope for, it is pretty much now screaming out like how our Southeast Asian slang, which is normally in Malaysia and Singapore, the slang word of their title song Ayah, how we say it, we say Ayah, what the hell lah. And I don't really mean it in a good way, because Ayah is a word that can actually symbolize or have multiple meanings to it, while for this, it isn't really good at all. Why I say that? The song seems to just be rubbing on their past glories. Since debut, MAMAMOO sounds has changed a lot. Changed drastically a lot. Looking back, I think that their turning point is about 2018 during the song Starry Night, which went to become one of their biggest hit actually for them. From that point, most of their title songs have rejected the big vocal moments that actually what brings them about as a group in the beginning. This is, well, I can actually say categorizing their first few years. As of now, it is more on following the trend and making the song much more fun to listen to. In many ways, I can say that Ayah feels like a sequel to Hwasa's solo song Maria. I feel like I use the word sing talk often nowadays, and well, Aya is a great example of what that approach sounds like. This is a freaking song that is pretty much a sing talk. And we're not talking about rap. Rap sing talk is good enough for me to listen to. But for a song, a vocalist team group to actually have a sing talk, that is something wrong there. Yes, MAMAMOO wanted to release 2 songs. They said that it is just wasted. 2 songs. Dinga, good enough. But Aya, really? Ay, what the hell is this? If I need to add in more, so much that the track composed of random vocalization as well as occasional refrain on it, it's not enough to maintain the interest and force the girls into a very affected performance, you know. This kind of singing is kind of like retarded a little bit. If I need to add in more, crispy, harmonious, and power vocal of their best work are replaced with a kind of mealy mouth sing that sound as if they are soloing all their words. Almost as if a roller coaster ride had gone wrong, you know. This song itself can be so good, but it's going so bad at the same time. I feel kind of bad for this, you know. I'm looking forward to this song so much. I have already skipped a week and I still think it like this. This is a freaking thing happening. And to add in more to that, the music is so good, but the singing itself doesn't give a chorus to it. It means Aya does not have a chorus in it either. In its place, it is an underwhelming instrumental drop which feels, how should I say? It feels like it is from too many other songs. It lands with a tap. Pretty much just a plain tongue. That's all. I can't take much to this. The track will be better off harnessing some of the energy from its perceiving final, I can say, which is jarring and messy, but at least it has a pulse. So instead, Aya just remained underwhelming all the way through. I do say this, although this song I'm criticizing like hell, I know a lot of fans are loving the songs, but for me it is really underwhelming. And why I do say it is really underwhelming is because the rating I'm giving it 6.5 out of 10. The reason why there's a 0.5 extra to it, because I do say the MV is the star between the song, the lyrics, and the MV itself, as it gives the song the missing color that it needs, and in an unexpected way, and match very well with the lyrics, which compare love that changed into a cavity that need to be removed. But without it, I can say that Dinga will be a better choice as a title comeback song instead of Aya. So Aya is pretty much a plain performance song that need to be performed live in order to feel the energy of it. Without it, just listening to it, it is an underwhelming song all the way to the end. So a rating of 6.5 for this song. And this is one of the songs that almost get into the borderline or just drop off. I almost wanted to not feature this song, but I think that since we are talking about MAMAMOO, why not putting it in as a chance? So MAMAMOO 6.5, very disappointing, I can say. I wanted this song to be so good. The teasers were so nice, the music from the teasers was so good, but the singing, the lyrics was the downfall for this song actually. And I will just be very honest and hits on the reality here. If this song does win show, if it doesn't win, don't do this. because I'll say I'm not surprised. This song is just pretty much on that level for me at the moment. Alright, so moving on to our last person, a solo, before we move on to part 2 after a short break later, which is CL, debuted on 2019 under YG Entertainment as the girl group 21, and this is followed by a debut on 2015 officially as a solo with her single Hello Bitches. And as of last year, she is a free agent artist after leaving YG with an announcement of a project. What project we are talking about is pretty much this. Nothing more to say, as most of us already know her name from 21 or as someone who is from the founding years of K-pop internationally, that is. So let's see what it is all about. With her new album on the horizon, I can say it's time to actually celebrate her unique voice and artistic once more. Why so I can say that? It's pretty much the track is talking about her impact as an artist, and this is one of the songs that will be another one releasing soon, which we will talk about it in the future. I do like to say, first, the MV was kept in a very simple way. I do like to say I found the song so much fun to listen to during my first time listening to it. Yet, it still shows who CL is in a much more fun and gaga style biography story type of MV. It is kept simple, but there is a charm to it. And to add in more, I don't know how far Hwa is going to set an impact to those who are listening, but its attitude infusing approaching highlights of many of the elements I appreciate most about CL. So for me, I am a person who actually followed SNSD as well as 21 in the old times. Especially during SNSD debut is when I actually followed quite a lot of K-pop. So knowing CL for quite a long time as a fan, this is something I appreciate a lot, because Girl Crush from CL is something really artistic. And to add in more opening with a chant hook, the song quickly moved into a very nice, charismatic rap verse. It is not the most original verse I ever listened to be honest, but it is nice to listen to CL going back to her comfort zone. That comfort zone is just so nice. The same could be said about the chorus. I love how the bass heavy, the instrumental becomes during the segment. The refrain is instantly catchy. But I do say, I wish the hook does not rely on the nursery rhyme of Rose of Sharon, which is pretty much bad when even I, as a non-Korean speaker, can recognize how closely the flow is to cliche. It's kind of close, I can say. But still, Hwa is a good, fun song to listen to. The instrumental has a few tricks up its sleeve, including a catchy loop to it that give it a little bit of electronic bounce. That open chant returns for the song finale, yet feels a little bit underused. I don't think Hwa needs any pop melody to actually be successful on this time, because the song itself is good enough, but I still feel there is something missing to it. As it stands, the track is quite repeating, and its success will likely comes down to how strongly you like or dislike the chorus. For me, I find it fun to listen to, but not on a daily basis, as it may get annoying at times. But if I need to put at a situation, I do say during playing sports or maybe some activity, having fun, I do listen to this song. So for you guys, leave it in the comments if you're watching from YouTube or listening from YouTube, or you can actually leave us a comments on our social media to let us know, what do you think of CL's new song? Do you like it? Is it childish? Or maybe something else? Let us know. I'd like to see what you guys think about this. So, as an overall, CL's Hua have a rating of 7.5 out of 10. The song is nice, just that it is not until the level I expect it to be very good. It is fun to listen to, but there is a little bit of downfall on the repetitiveness. So with that, I will end part 1 here. Let's go to a short break and come back with part 2 with 3 more songs. Let's go.
Hello guys, like what you're listening to? Please do follow us on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram page. Links on the description, and let's move on to part 2.
Welcome back to Chimaek Hangout episode 26 part 2. Right now we are still in our sizzling music and we're gonna continue with our next 3 songs. Firstly, we're gonna have Secret Number, debuted on 2020 under Vine Entertainment with their debut song Who's This, which was listed as the top 10 artists for Indonesia's region for 10 Asian Award. Wow, I should give this to them. We've gone through a short profile discussion about them in the past, and finally we have a chance to actually discuss on their new song here, which is very good. Why I say this though? The reason is because although their debut is a little bit hype up, Secret Number caught pretty much my attention with their strong vocal and a song that took advantage of that skill they have. Although their debut, and I do honestly say I haven't played Who's This all that often since it was released in May, but I still have a soft spot for this kind of straightforward arrangement and hearty delivery kind of songs. When this kind of thing happen from time to time, old school is still the best. It still sounds so good. Although, well, if I need to say more, old school is a taste of mine that I have. Without it, I won't say much to the others. To add on, their new single, Got That Boom, basically embraced many of these strengths. So it opts for a more dynamic and structure with the lyrics theme of being excited and caught in the feeling, those emotion of hype, those emotion of feelings, those emotion of being young and having fun all the time. And to add on to that, love it how they turn on a light show, futuristic arcade set in the MV without overusing any edit or filter. It was so nice, so neat. I can say it is on the borderline of making me dizzy, but it's still bearable. It's still bearable to watch it. Nice and smooth. It gives the enough feeling like they are playing around with secret numbers in an arcade, as well like an old school game of DDR. If you guys who do not know what is DDR, Dance Revolution, arrow button games where you dance along to the arrows and you will basically just need to press it using your feet. Alright, so to any of you guys, it is something like an old school Just Dance. It is pretty much an old school or an old version of Just Dance, where instead of moving to the movement, it is moving based on arrow, where you step on the buttons of the arrow using your feet. So that's the pattern where they have for this. It was so much fun to actually watch it, and as mentioned earlier, constant musical diversion of often dull momentum. This song is the only thing I would say is guilty of this in places, especially if you're hoping for it to become a style of song. Become the style of song with its bombastic chorus suggests. Count me in to that crowd because I absolutely love the brace they have, as well as the beat that underline the boom's hook. It was so nice, so neat. I wish the melody was just as robust to it, but what can I say? Beggar can't choose. Instead, they align the charm of the MV to the missing pieces and still give a fulfilling feeling for me. For me itself, with the MV, it still feel the fun and fill in some of the missing pieces to the puzzle of the song. The rest of these songs move between the attitude-infused girl crush, which is, I can say, very popular for this year, and a very catchy, if I should say, a repetitive chant that somehow incorporates the lyrics tic-tac-toe, if you know which game is that. Without sounding completely ridiculous, in the end, there are too many divers in this song. I definitely stand out, but the time everything comes together for the finale, the track harness its full potential and transform into something much more grand actually. It's a thrill to actually say this, but well, there are some points that is, I would say, underwhelming a little bit, but still give it to them. It was a good song. I do call this a definitely win for a rookie group. Without big agency backing, it managed to bring together so many 2020 girl group trends while sounding as good as they are. I will be very interesting to see where they are going for their next comeback. This is just good enough. Who's This was just the beginning. This is pretty much like a real introduction to them. So I'm very looking forward to this. And sounding how positive I am with this, I'm giving it a rating of 8 out of 10 for this song. With the MV, with the lyrics, with the song. It's 8 out of 10. The only reason why this I took out a little bit is because in between, I wish there are more impact, there are more boom and dynamic to the song. But well, like I say, beggars can't choose. So there we go, we have this song. Moving on to our next song, GFriend, or should I say Girlfriend, debuted on 2015 under Source Music. Previous song, Apple have a total of 3 music show wins, and during the year 2019, they win several awards like Best Female Group and Artist of the Year, to name a few. Alright, their new song, Mago. To put it in a simple term, this is a disco genre track, another one. And what it's all about, it is about becoming in charge of your own life. Another very wisdom song. Here we go again. And for this time, it was written by friends Bang Si-hyo, as well as the members who are Eunhwa, Yoo-jung and Eunji, and several other songwriters. Well, you can search Google on it, alright? So like how the title was actually written with the word Mago, which can be translated to magician, sorcerers, or I think these two are the most compatible meaning to this song. Magician or sorcerer. To become the person who is in charge of your own life. Because why I say so, magician and sorcerers are someone that are magical, who can take control of who they are. Like fairy tales, I can say, that cast its sight narrow away of wisdom. And this goes on with the tone of this song as well. It aims to be a little more than just a dance floor filler. a mild, sophisticated dance floor filler, those kind of mild song. Instead, it's trying to be a full focus that allowed the song or the track to shine. The chunky beat gets going right from the start and it doesn't let down. It glides through so smoothly and in the ease. And the electronic, those BAM electronics, aren't something that we haven't heard like millions of times in pop songs, to be honest, especially in K-pop. But Mago doesn't seek those those impression through the daring instrumental twists or turns. Instead, it just focuses on a good chorus in the song, which I love so much in this song. Lyrics have been a long time not being put as the main focus. Lyrics and the chorus being the main focus, good enough for me. And I should say, like many of the K-pop recent retro offerings we have, like Twice and many more, I don't need to mention. You can listen to a few of our previous episodes podcast. We have a few songs from there. Mago has a very good and great chorus. I'll just say it once more. It's a two-parter, kicking off with a refrain that feels like a big centerpiece without going overboard. It means a very nice climax with a nice touch. This is followed by a even catchier hook that fulfill embrace the disco learnings of the song. When I say disco learning, I mean it very real. It's pretty much showing you what retro is. So to sum it up a little bit, Mago is well aware of its roots it's trying to draw from. Even as it twists the charms into a format more compatible to K-pop, it feels like GFriend has hit a J-pop. GFriend, or should I say GFriend, had hit a jackpot upon joining big hit labels, to be honest. And to put those aside, and I just add in a little bit of lyrics here, I become the light and the darkness. It can't be both lies and turn. If you just want whatever you want, joy and sorrow, everything will be me. Really represent the girls as they slowly take control of the music they are trying to make. Love these lyrics, like how I say so much, and how I always say at the end of the podcast, be excited and challenge yourself, as everyone's timing is different when it comes to dreams. During the journey, with those motto that I always say at the end of the podcast, these lyrics is what you will need to go through. As simple as that. Mago is a song that is very compatible to my motto for the podcast. If we need to move on or add in a little bit more to this song, I'll just give you guys a bit of opinion on the MV. MV give a very nice retro glitter feels with a mild disco feel. Well, I should say a mild disco vibe. While the dance, oh my god, the dance. I do not need to mention the dance. All you fans, all you buddies out there, you can scream all you want because it's a very nice performance. Everything fits so well with the song, and the MV is being just a playground that's needed to complete the song by fully embracing, as I said, the retro vibe, since the song is focused on the chorus and the MV is on the performance. However, I can only say that the glitter and the lighting is a bit too overwhelming at time to time for the eyes due to editing. If they only tone it down a little bit more, it will be nice. And due to that, I'll give the rating 9 out of 10 for this song. If only they tone it down, it hurts the eye, seriously. If you haven't watched the MV, do watch it. Some of the glitter is just too much actually. And lastly, we have our solo, Taemin. Debuted on 2008 in the boy group SHINee under SM Entertainment, went solo on 2014 under the same company. Sadly to say, he did not won any music show for his previous song, Criminal, which I did say it was really dark. If you're curious on what I say about this song being so dark, you can check out episode 19 where I actually discuss on why the song is so dark. Check out episode 19 of the podcast to see what I have to say about the song. To put it honest, for this song this time, love it so much. There is a stark contrast between the lighter verse part of the song and the heavier as well as the darker chorus part. So it's separated into a few parts within the song. The lyrics, I can say it is much more meaningful as drawn from if I'm not mistaken, it's called platonic idealism, where only ideas encapsulate the true and essential nature of things. In a way, physical forms are nothing. It is meaningless when it comes to physical embodiments. Instead, it is the ideal thinking that is the true. So if I need to give you guys an example that'd be much easier to understand, we will take maybe trees. Some trees look so beautiful, some trees look so horrible. Maybe in fairy tales you see those horrible, dark, evil tree like kraken, something like that. So those trees are called ugly. Some people may not call it a tree. They may call it a branch. While using under this idealism, it is called a tree without thinking much. And the describe of the process of escaping from one past self to find one true self within this song is using these kind of ideas. That's where the title of the song is coming from. Alright, to be honest, compared to their previous song, Criminal may be a little bit of a disappointment to some. Alright, to be honest, compared to the previous song, Idea may be a little bit of disappointment to some of you guys. But I feel like this song shows he's versatile as a performer, with the opening of a steady beat underlined with the kind of seesawing future bass sing, which brings the goodness of the MV that shines so well with the theme of the lyrics of slowly finding your past self and pushing it away, releasing yourself and finding the true self of your own. To add that in, the lyrics and the tone of Killing Me Softly, which is a little bit auto-tuned, which may be annoying to some, but to me, it is the nicest part of the song. I can say some of the points that it will be in your head whenever you listen to this song, or basically it suddenly appears, Killing Me Softly. Ooh, I love that so much. However, like usual, the bass is a little bit too much. Alright, I'll be honest, the bass is just pretty much overwhelming. It feels like it's too extra. It's tense, the high level energy, yet it breaks the chance to actually develop a sense of momentum. Taemin's vocal was actually shattered into this messy mix due to the bass. And the whole nature of the track was pretty much just messed up like a worse. While Criminal, although it's dark, it builds to a stunning intensity single. Idea? Just a splash out of, well, it's just a splash of trash at this moment due to the bass. But I can say it is still bearable if you're listening through speaker or you're on the drive, you're listening on your radio, on your speaker. It is still a good song to listen to. That's the point I like to point out. Just that the bass, if you want, you know how to do some editing to the song, I think you can tune down the bass, then you can find the song much more better to listen to. So as an overall rating for this song, I'll say it is 7 out of 10. The MV actually is the only thing that actually saved this whole song. If not because of the bass, I will give this higher. But this song is included, it's because I love the MV a lot, to be honest. Alright, with that, we have already listed out 6 songs due to my absence last week where my PC just break down. So, before we move on to our other segments for this podcast, let's listen to Mago. Alright, and now we are back. So overall, if we need to separate the ratings for everything that we have already discussed for today, we have GFriend, followed by Secret Number. Next, we have CL, followed by Taemin's. Then we have MONSTA X, and lastly, we have MAMAMOO. So Taemin and MONSTA X are having a draw for this week. Both are getting 7 points from the rating out of 10. Alright, so with that, let's move on to a little bit of news that we have for this week. So to keep things a little bit on the lighter side and having fun, since we are having award shows, we are having some concerts coming soon, let's see what we have. So the first news that I have for this week is actually big hits labels artists are going to have a concert, a family concert. Wow! However, you guys who are fans or maybe just a general K-pop fans may realize Music Core under the MuBeats app for the pre-votes. Well, you can say that most of the artists that should be in there are missing who are under Big Hits Entertainment, as well as the other subsidiary agencies. So to give you guys a little bit of pictures, the offline and online concert from big hit labels will be done at the same day as MBC's Gayo Daejeon, the music festival, the ending music festival of MBC, which is featuring a lot of K-pop acts. Well, they are doing it on the same day. With that, well, you can say a counteract, a sabotage from MBC, but to remove them from the app, from Music Core itself. I do not know why they are doing this, but on the brighter side, we are having a concert to watch, right? Which is good enough to do. I don't want to think about anything about this. Music Core, MBC, just do your thing. Fans will just hunt you down pretty soon. That's all. Moving on to the next award show that I'm looking forward to for this year, which is MAMA 2020. And as of now, the good news is some of the groups that I want to listen to, that I want to watch, that I'm hoping they will get awards are in here already. First of all, we have BTS for sure. Secondly, we have 17. Third, we have NCT. Fourth, we have Twice. And lastly, we have IZ*ONE. These are the 5 groups that have confirmed to make appearance. The lists are still on hold, still in discussion. Everything will be coming out soon within this month. As you guys know, 6th of December is when MAMA 2020 will be at. So look forward to more news coming soon on this podcast as well. So we will end it here. This is just a bit of light news for you guys. Moving to the last part, recommended variety. For recommended variety, I wanted to give you guys something a little bit old school that you can have fun with. And this time I'm going to recommend a variety show that I can pretty much say my virgin variety show of Korea, which is Invincible Youth. Invincible Youth is one of the variety shows that I watched for the first time on YouTube. YouTube was one of the place where you get to watch this kind of stuff in the past. In the old past, you need to search for illegal sites to watch it, which was very, very bad. While Invisible Youth under KBS, or should I say KBS World, was good enough to release episode by episode for us to watch. To give you guys a general, this was aired on KBS 2. So they have KBS 1 and 2. 1 is more on news, dramas, and 2 is more on entertainment as well as drama as well. I'm very confused on how they separate it. So anyway, this reality show was released 2009 to 2010, where there are 2 seasons, but what I recommend the most was actually season 1. Season 1 was the best show ever. It is a little bit boring at some times, but to give you guys a general view on what the show is about, it's pretty much taking Korean's entertainer idols, comedians, old singers, actors, merging them and work and learn on how to actually do farming. And this is done locally in Korea in a small village. If I remember correctly, it is in Gangwon's area in South Korea, if I remember correctly. So they are involved in a lot of farming, algae culture work, as well as interacting with the aging rural community at there. And to be honest, you guys, that place has already grown in population into something like a town due to this. And who we have in here? So pretty much, we have a lot of girl groups in here that we call G7 girls. And these G7 girls initially started with Nausha, Brown Eye Girls, Sunhwa from Secret, Hyuna from 4 Minute, Hyomin from Tiara, Sunny and Yuri from Girls' Generation, and lastly we have Hara from Kara. Talking about Hara, yes. Anyway, this is one of the few times that you will have a lot of joy watching. But in the mid of the show, should I say, in the mid of the show, we have a few of the girls that leave due to schedule reason. So 3 of the girls that left was actually Sunny, Yuri and Hyuna, and they were replaced by Kim Sori, a solo artist, followed by Victoria from FX, and lastly Joyeon from After School. The show itself was a comedy because we have Kim Shi-yeon, who is kind of much more thinner, I should say. In the past, she was a very, very chubby comedian. She was so funny that a lot of people was actually laughing as she made a lot of jokes in the show to make the fun of the show together with all those farming to not get it very, very bored. Along the show, it was very, very nice to watch. You will have a lot of fun to watch. And to be honest, there wasn't much guests on the show. With this volume of team or volume of cast in there, it was a good enough show to watch for season 1. However, for season 2, take a risk to watch if you want to. I won't explain much on that because it's a different theme. What I recommend is season 1 of Invisible Youth. If you do have a chance, watch it. The cast is very, very nice to watch. With that, we shall end today's podcast here. With our next episode, we will bring CL's other song in to discuss. That song had already been released, pretty much. So next week, I will have a little bit of deep discussion on that because it was a very meaningful song for CL as well. So like usual, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're watching from YouTube, follow us on any of our podcast platform, and lastly, be aside and challenge yourself as everyone's timing is different when it comes to dreams. And don't forget the lyrics just now, remember that the most. With that, annyeong guys, and see you guys on the next podcast.